Nebraska, and I'm not quite set up where I want to be. I was walking in the access road here, and the birds just started lighting up right along the road I'm coming in. And in Nebraska here, there's not a whole lot of trees where I can really get in the woods and hide, so being out in the wide open, I just had to tuck along this fence line here, and I just dropped the decoys out there probably 7 yards and tucked back in a little bit of brush here, and the birds are just lighting up. So here in a little bit, probably give them little soft yelps and see if I can get one come this way. So I don't have any blind or anything set up. I'm just kind of tucked in some brush, and hopefully they haven't been pressured too much and come on in. So let's go. They're everywhere. I can see them up in the tree. So I'm gonna wait till they pitch down and give them a couple yelps. I did hear some hens yelping at them over there, so hopefully I can draw them back over once they pitch down. I don't want to yelp right now because it's so open out here. They'd probably just hang up in the roost and wait for the hen to come to them and then fly down. So I'm gonna wait till they fly down first. Well, I just picked up and moved spots where I can lean up against a tree and get a little more comfortable. I had those hens come by, and I was sitting there on my knees, and after about 20 minutes I could no longer feel my feet. But after they worked off, I scooted here closer to where the birds were roosted this morning, and I got kind of a little funnel here where a farm road crosses a ditch here, and so I imagine the turkeys will kind of work across this. So I set up 2 hens and a strayer decoy, and I'm gonna set up shop here and hang out here for most of the day, calling every 30 minutes or so, and see if I can't draw something over here. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call that from our morning hunt. It's about 12:30. Those jakes ended up coming back by with the hen, and they kind of worked off here in front of me and then circled back around. They are in range. I decided not to shoot a jake this morning. I may regret that later, but I'm gonna get out, grab some lunch, and then see if I can get back on some turkeys for this afternoon.
One trip that I was really looking forward to this year was with a friend of mine, Austin Newell, who I kind of grew up hunting together with him. We've hunted together for 20 plus years probably, and we always get together and we turkey hunt every year around here in Mississippi where we live, but we don't get to take those out-of-state trips together as much as we used to. He and I both have young kids now, so life kind of gets in the way, and we just don't get to make those out-of-state trips together like we used to. So we got together before the season started, and we just said, hey man, even if it's for 2 or 3 days, let's make sure that we make a trip this year. So we make the loop around, we come in on the public access, we cut the distance on the turkey, and I think Austin or one of us called, and the turkey gobbled, and we could tell that he had made his way close to the edge of the woods and may have actually gotten into the woods actually. So we cut the distance on him again, made our setup. Austin gets out in front of me. He sits behind a big log and gets hid really well. And I start calling to the turkey, and he's just eating it up. The more I called to him, the more that this turkey gobbled at us. And I got pretty aggressive with him, which I typically don't do. But I think what happened was this turkey had probably separated from his hens for the morning. His hens had probably gone to nest for the morning, and we just happened to hit him at the right time, and I started calling to him really aggressive, and the harder that I called to him, I could tell that he was cutting the distance on us. So you notice in the video that there's a little grassy area right in front of Austin. Well, he can shoot about 30 or 40 yards on the other side of that little grassy wet spot in front of him. So the turkey's coming straight to us through the woods. I can pick up pieces of him coming through the woods, and I'm thinking he's just gonna come right over Austin's shoulder. It's gonna be great video.
Well, there's some goblin here behind me, and I have a pond that's pretty long that runs here behind me, and they're on the other side of it. So I don't know if they're gonna want to cross that, so I'm gonna sneak down, go around the back side of it, and get in the woods there, same side they are, and give a couple yelps, see if I can't work them down that direction. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a move. Well, I just made a move over here from the spot I set up this morning, and I no longer but got set up and got the decoys out, and one starts hammering back where I was this morning. So I guess it's about 9:30 and he's hammering, so he should be able to work. So I'm gonna pack myself back up and head back over there. Let's go. I saw one on my way out of the field. I'm gonna go get him. Well, the turkeys have kicked my butt today. I thought when I was set up so close to those on the roost they'd pitch down in the field. They ended up pitching out across to this long pond that was behind me. And they gobbled back there for a while and never came around, and I didn't really have a whole lot of property that I was able to hunt there on the other side of the pond. Tried to call them over, and then I worked over to where the landowner said he'd been seeing some turkeys. As soon as I got up there, heard gobbles again back where I was at. So I moved back over there, and they were a good ways off. And then the bearded head came by and started dusting in that dust spot there that I saw earlier this morning. And she kind of started making her way over and then turned and went back into the woods. Well, I think that's gonna make a wrap for Nebraska here. Heard a lot of birds again this morning, just can't quite get on them. As soon as they fly down, they be quiet, and there's a lot of hens around here too. It'd be nice if I could stay and hunt a little longer, but I gotta get loaded up, make the trek back to Indiana tonight. So it's a great time hunting here in Nebraska with my buddy Doug. He's got a great piece of property here and grow some giant whitetails. Well, we're here in Nebraska. We're overlooking the bottoms here. So I'm here with my buddy Doug. Doug's a seed customer of mine and has been using Tecomate for a few years now.
Yep, this will be year 3.
Year 3. I'm super grateful for my friend and Tecomate seed customer Doug for allowing me to hunt on his farm. The farm is a flat, wide open river bottom property that has some federal ground scattered throughout. Keep an eye out in later episodes as Doug tells a story about how he used Tecomate to transform his farm into a big buck mecca after a devastating flood ripped through the area, changing the entire layout of his farm.
Well, right before the turkey gets in range, he makes a swing out and he goes back out to that ag field, and he starts coming right down the edge of the ag field, which is no problem. We were both set up for that scenario in case he decided to do that, but the turkey actually gets behind that log that Austin's sitting on, and I lose him on video for a couple of minutes. Well, he finally pops back out, and the turkey's actually going to go out of range. It looks like he's going to go out to the middle of the field, and whenever he pops back out, I call to him one more time. He gobbles, he turns, he starts coming straight back to us. He gets to about 30 yards, and one of those things that just happens as a turkey hunter, Austin makes the shot, just the shot was just a little bit low, and chaos kind of ensued at that point. If you've ever been in that situation, that's why we didn't get it on video. Chaos just kind of ensued, and Austin had to make a follow-up shot. First Wisconsin bird. All right. Yes, and he is an absolute slammer. Probably, he's gonna be close to 1.5 inches probably.
Be close to it.
Not that that really matters. He's a good one either way, no matter what he would have been, but we have been struggling a little bit. We got here yesterday and have been on birds and things. A lot of turkeys on private. Just trying to work with that and trying to work them into the public land, or trying to find some turkeys on public that are close to private, stuff like that. And finally found this turkey today. We seen him in a private field close to some public that we thought we could get close to him, and slipped in close to him and had to work with him a little bit to get him in there. It took a little while, but he had some hens with him when we saw him. And by the time we got over there, I don't know whether he had lost the hens or maybe they were still close by and he just had kind of drifted away from them a little bit. I don't know. But we worked him for, I don't know what, 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And finally he broke, and we could see him moving through the timber, and he kind of made a little loop on us right there at the last minute, and he came out to the edge of this little ag field, and kind of came around hard on your left. I didn't know whether you were going to be able to shoot or not.
Yeah, I lost him behind a brush pile for a while. He just come through the timber, but he was making a swoop around this drainage swell that came out of the ag field.
Yeah, and I knew he was out. When we sat down right there, we knew that little marshy area was right in front of us, but I knew you could shoot across it if he did come up right on the other side of it.
Right.
But I kind of felt like he was going to swoop around us and come down the edge of that field too, and that's what he did. But so it worked out. Shooting wasn't exactly stellar, but we got him. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So we got a Wisconsin turkey, and we got all day today, all day tomorrow, and Monday morning. So we got time to kill one more, hopefully.
Right.
So, and I mean, that is just all around. That's a big turkey. He's got a big, giant, probably, I don't know, 10.5 inch, 11 inch, really thick Midwest beard like you always see. And I hadn't even picked him up yet. You had him, but he looked heavy.
A lot heavier than those Mississippi birds.
Yeah. So that was cool. Beautiful country up here. We're sitting on top of a hill right here, and we can see probably a full mile across the valley right here. So we're gonna snap some good pictures, and we're gonna go try to find another one. Awesome.
All right, appreciate it.
Yep.
If you liked this episode and want to follow along on our hunts, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when we post, and you can check out more of the Tecomate life.